What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is SonicRanger. Welcome back to Beacon Pines. It has been very fun so far, and I'm really enjoying this game. As you may have noticed, I accidentally hit my button a little too many times when I got to this part. So, we're at Chapter 4, Dinner with the Modwills. Was that how they said it? Modwills? Yeah. So, yeah. And you know what? I was looking over my earlier videos, and I realized we got a lot of charms that I never actually used, so I don't know where they come up. I'm wondering if maybe there was other paths further back that I didn't realize will now have charms. What were the charms I missed? There's Broken that we got in the diner. What was the other one? Well, there were a couple, at least a couple when I was looking over them. And I'm like, oh wait, I don't know where that charm went. What was that charm for? So we're going to have to look into that. Next time we have a chance to go into the Chronicle, we'll have to go and see about where different turning points may have had new choices. That way we don't get too far ahead and get lost. I want to make sure we keep up in all the lore. Lore is important with me. I am a storyteller. I need a story. And I want to know all the details. So we're going to stick with first, finishing up chapter 4 here, until we get to a point where we can just go into turning points. Iona Modwell was worried about change. A gardener at heart, she understood the necessity of change, relied on it even. Alright, go ahead and take it away, narrator.
But there was a difference between the controlled world of her plants and this cluttered cottage in a strange town. Almost done. Nellie was a blur of activity, digging through boxes. Sorry, love. Couldn't find the dishes. We'll have to make do with paper plates. Dinner went by without much conversation. As she watched Beck and Luca finish up their pizza, Ilona let herself relax into the chair. The things she cared about were still here. Nellie finally had the job of her dreams. Beck was beginning to take root. Ilona's task was simply to tend to them. She could do that.
So, Luca. Give me a moment. I gotta get my voice working. So, Luca, tell us a bit about yourself. Oh, you may have noticed the sound is going to be a little lower. One of the things I noticed with the earlier recordings was the sound kind of overwhelms you a bit. Little louder than me. And that's not going to work. Believe it or not, my voice is supposed to be the main attraction. If you don't like my voice, you can go buy the game and play it yourself. Because this is really cool, and I think we should totally give the creators more business, because they did a really good job with this. I really appreciate this. Alright. Where do you live? Oh, I live with my grandma. Over on the other side of the river. Your grandma? Where are your parents at? Beck? Manners. It's alright. My dad passed away in an accident at the fertilizer plant 6 years back. Oh dear. My mom's been missing for a few months now. Squeaky voice is gonna mess me up. Like, missing?
Luca's eyes were fixed to his plate, pushing a chunk of pineapple around with his finger. Nellie was the one who eventually broke the silence.
Luca, how do you like your pizza? Oh, it was good. Very good. Normally we'd have put more effort into dinner.
Ilona nervously gestured toward the boxes.
We aren't fully settled in, and Beck had mentioned that it's your favorite. I'm sorry. We were just skipping the part where he said his mom was missing. Beck! I'm sorry, Luca. This move has us all a little tired.
Luca wiped his face with his sleeve.
No, it's fine. So, Beck said you moved here for work?
Beck gave Luca a swift kick under the table.
Ow! I mean, what brought you to Beacon Pines? Oh, you were right the first time. We're here for work. Nellie won't tell you this, but she's a brilliant chemist. I don't know about brilliant, but I do love it. I swear there's something in the back of my throat today. I'm not sick anyway, so that's good. Perennial Harvest just made her their newest lead researcher of deep engineering. Oh. Nellie? Would you perhaps know what happened to your predecessor?
She makes it sound more impressive than it is. I'm just happy that I get to make a difference in the world. Perennial harvest is at the forefront of evolving agriculture into something more useful than sprinkling water and excrement on the ground.
Luca glanced over to Beck. She seemed to be holding her breath.
What Nellie means, Luca, is that there are different ways to grow plants.
Yes, some people talk to their plants and hope for the best.
And some people happily leave their job to allow the loved one to pursue their dream.
You swore you
Beck
didn't!
slammed her fist into the table. Perhaps harder than she intended.
Hey, Luca! How about some dessert? I actually have to meet my friend Rolo soon.
Luca glanced outside to gauge the time. The sky was darker than he expected, filled with ominous clouds.
Looks like there's a storm brewing. I should get going. Oh, I didn't think there was any rain in the almanac. Yeah, almanacs aren't that useful around here.
Luca wiped his mouth one last time with his napkin and started to get up.
Thank you all for the pizza. It really was good. See you at the festival, Beck. Her unlucky queen. Wait up. I'll walk you home.
Surprised, Luca turned around. He knew Rolo could be prickly around new people. But Beck seemed cool. Rolo would warm up to her eventually. Probably.
Oh, there's the charms we were just talking about. Rumble was the one I was thinking about. So either the storm comes or the storm goes. That is interesting. Let's start with the first one. Why not?
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to rumble with ominous thunder.
Are you sure you can make it home before the storm kicks off?
Luca surveyed the roiling clouds.
I'd say the odds are good. Maybe you should stay here and I'll just make a break for it.
At that moment, the heavens opened up, unleashing torrential rain.
Face it. Care to recalculate those odds? Good thing I turned my sound down. This would be much harder to hear me under.
Hurry inside, you two, before you catch cold.
Luca, Nellie will keep trying to reach your gran on the phone. In the meantime, you two hold tight. Sorry, not much to do up here. Most of my stuff is still in the boxes. Mind if I poke around? Be my guest. I got nothing to
Luca
hide.
squinted into the eye hole of the microscope.
This looks wild. What is it? Gum. Gum?
Luca adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look.
I'm tracking the structural integrity of gum with increasing amounts of chewing. Chewed that one for 47 days.
Luca wiped his hand off on his sweater and gave a nervous laugh.
It's weird, I know.
Beck looked down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet.
You think it's weird, don't you? A little. The weird can be cool. You're right, weird can be cool. Oh wow! Rolo and I have a radio just like this at the treehouse. Probably not exactly like this one. My mom and I tore the whole thing down to the bolts. Fitted it with some state-of-the-art vacuum tubes. She seems pretty awesome. She gets carried away sometimes. I think she feels guilty for working too much. So when she does have time for me, she showers me with high-tech overcompensation.
Luca flicked at one of the toggles.
I bet you can get all sorts of stations on this. Not out here in the boonies. You wouldn't believe the stuff I could pick up back in the city. But around here, it's all farm reports and static. Ah, shucks.
Luca bent down to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers. Judging by the odor, they were well past their prime.
Pungent.
He flipped open the attached card.
Happy trails from Coach Walker and all the Fairview Condors. Boy, you weren't kidding about poking around, huh? Oh, sorry. Was this from your old school? The most recent one, yeah. Some schools gave me going away cards. Some did flowers. When they're really trying to feel good about themselves, they did both. So you've moved a lot? Yeah, that's the thing, having a brilliant parent. There's always a better job somewhere else. These flowers would last longer if you put them in some water. That's the sort of thing I would do if I cared. Well, you cared enough to keep them is all. Luca, can I ask you something? Of course. No. She did the hero landing. Dang, didn't that hurt? I'll be honest. That hurt more than I expected. Well, at least you looked cool doing it.
Beck took a moment to watch the rivulets of water running down the window.
Do you ever feel alone? Like, even when people are around? Well, Rolo can be pretty absent-minded sometimes. I'm serious. Does it ever feel like your family doesn't care what you want? It doesn't used to feel that way. I know Graham loves me, but sometimes when she looks at me, it's like she's looking at a problem.
Luca took a deep breath, exhaling slowly.
I know the feeling. How do you deal with that? I guess I haven't yet. But one thing my dad told me when I was little, don't hold a grudge, especially against yourself. If you try to hold it all in, you're gonna pop. So then, what do you do when you don't know what to do? Dad never got to that part. Something I figured out on my own, though. You gotta do something. Anything. Here. What are you doing? I don't know. Something. We're gonna register our complaints with the storm. Listen here, you miserable universe. Stop jerking me around. I just want things to go back to the way they were. Everyone tells me it's gonna be alright. That things are gonna change.
Luca let out a feral scream that echoed into the night.
Every time something changes, everything gets worse. Screw this town! Whoa. Let me try. Moving sucks! I hate it! I hate it! I hate it! Why can't I just deal with it and be happy for my mom? Why can't we just stay somewhere? Ah!
Her voice dropped to a trembling whisper.
I just want to be a normal kid.
Beck brushed off her shirt and straightened up.
There. Wow, I actually feel a little better.
As abruptly as it began, the storm abated.
Thanks. I needed that. Me too. I should head out before the rain starts up again. Sure, I'll walk you out. See you and Rolo at the festival? Sounds good. Luca, don't let the universe jerk you around.
Beck gave Luca a light thump on the arm before heading in.
Gosh,
Chapter 5.
Chapter 5. We're rolling right along.
Friendly Feud.
Uh-oh.
The air was heavy with the hard rain's residue, the smell of wet things. Despite his dreary surroundings, Luca felt at peace. He'd never shared those details about his dad with anyone, not even Rolo. But it's not like this changed anything. Rolo was still his best friend. Adding Beck to the group would help balance things out. Everything's better in threes. This is what Luca told himself as he headed to the treehouse. After the foul harvest destroyed their wealth and reputation, the Valentines shuttered off their estate from the rest of town.
Good to know. Just making sure there's no other lovely charms waiting for me. Oh, hey, Dawn.
The Valentines Valentine Mansion loomed over every other building in town, both figuratively and literally.
Hey, Dawn. Tracking down a lead?
You bet. I heard a juicy new rumor. Turns out, when Sharper Valentine died, he left behind a peculiar last will and testament.
Peculiar how?
He didn't just give his kids an inheritance, there were conditions.
Like what?
The document stipulated that Eris had to take on a child as her ward. A kid our age who just showed up to town one night with a lawyer.
Solomon?
Bingo!
So Eris was forced to take care of him?
Yep, or she would have lost everything.
Why would Sharper care so much about some random kid?
Rumor has it old Sharper sowed some wild oats.
Ooh, I was gonna say. She said it for me, in a much better way. That explains why the heiress treats him. Explains the way the heiress treats him. Poor Solomon. How did you find all this out?
A good reporter never reveals her source, Luca.
Fair enough. Oh wait, there was another fence. Hold on. There's nothing there. Okay, it's fine. Bees! I better not dilly-dally. Gotta get to the treehouse. It's dark out. Very dark out. This is such a pretty game, and the music's so... Oh. Excuse me, what are you doing? Just locking up for the night, sir. Oh, wonderful. I can only assume this means all festival preparations have been completed ahead of schedule. Not exactly, sir. The storm set us back a bit, and it's getting late, so we all decided to... You all decided? Yes, sir. I was unaware that your job involved deciding things. We are all here at Perennial Harvest because we believe in creating a better future, yes? Yes, sir. Very much, sir. Do you want to be the one to tell this town that we failed them? No. That we gave up because there was a little rainstorm and we all got sleepy? Of course not, sir. Good, then it's decided. Yes, sir, we'll work till the task is done. See that you do. Our harvest awaits. Well, all right then. Let's go find our dear Rolo. Wonder if we have anything new. We do!
Luca
Pungent!
wrapped a twig of thyme around the hook. Some fish have refined taste.
Let's see what the time gets us. It's the time.
Time! Dang! Time got time. Property of Sharper Valentine. Figures. If he had his way, property of Sharper Valentine will be written on everything in this town.
Should we give it back to him?
He may not even want it back. The man's got a contentious relationship with time. We'll keep it here in case he ever wants to pick it up. Alright, that's a new item. Can't imagine what the fishing part is for, but I'm sure it's important. Rolo, are you still up there? Guess so. I'm sorry, Rolo isn't accepting visitors at the moment. Come back never.
Luca had only ever heard him speak in this stiff yet gentle tone a few times, and it always meant one thing.
You're upset. Oh, what makes you say that? Maybe because my best friend abandoned me for no reason. I didn't abandon you. I'm just a little late.
Rolo scoffed.
The rain held me up. Liar! You weren't even home. What? The storm got bad and I got worried, so I went looking for you. Imagine my surprise when I made it to your house and you weren't there. I hadn't made it back yet. I'm not a fool, Luca. It doesn't take all day to deliver some jam. No, the storm rolled in out of nowhere, and I got stuck after dinner at Beck's house.
Luca stumbled on his words, knowing he'd said too much.
Beck? Dinner? What the heck is a Beck? She's a new kid in town. She's actually kind of cool. You'd like her. She needed help convincing her parents that she'd made new friends. New friends? I spent all day waiting for you, and you were off making new friends? It's not like that, Rolo. You know, while I was waiting, I made some upgrades to mission control. It was gonna be a surprise. But you took so long, the storm knocked it all down. Just like you knocked down our friendship. What does that even mean?
Luca became instinctively angry in response. Both boys were now shouting across the distance.
It means you're a bad friend. You don't care about me. Of course I care, you jerk. I knew I'd get in trouble waiting so late for you, but I kept my word, 'cause that's what friends do. Oh wow, what a noble sacrifice you made. Easy for you to say. Your grand doesn't even care. You can stay out as long as you want, and you wouldn't even get in trouble. Seriously? You're acting like I chose this. If that's what you think, then maybe you're the bad friend.
Rolo's tone changed to a calm, yet more intense anger.
Maybe Pa is right. Storm brings more than water. This one brought out the real Luca. Stop quoting your Pa's nonsense like it means anything. Yeah, well, at least my Pa's still around.
The words hung in the cold night air. Rolo's stomach dropped, knowing he'd crossed a line. But it was too late.
Luca, Good night, Rolo. Dang it. The babies are fighting.
Luca dug through his old stuff, not even sure what he was looking for.
Rolo. What a jerk. Call me a bad friend. Ooh, I'm Rolo. Look at me and my amazing family. That is one way to handle your anger. I guess I'm just never supposed to make new friends. Weep. Oh, poor baby. Luca,
Gran cooed gently from the hallway.
you slept straight through breakfast. Luca, are you alright? I'm fine. Just don't feel like getting up yet. Okay, I'll leave this oatmeal by the door. I've got to run out and take care of some things. Okay. I'll be back later to check in. Sure.
Luca just wanted to be alone. He waited to hear the sound of the front door closing.
I bet Rolo's still gonna go to the festival. He's gonna be miserable. If Rolo thinks I'm still gonna festival with him, he can shove it.
Luca dozed off again.
Luca, I see you didn't eat your oatmeal. Wasn't hungry. Well, just in case you get hungry, I'll leave a sandwich here too. Thanks. Rolo came by. What did he say? He wanted to talk to you. What did you say? I told him you weren't feeling well. Good. So your plan is to just sit in your room all day? Pretty much. Well, I need to pop away again for a moment. If you decide to end your pity party and go outside, I think it'd do you some good. Noted.
Lucas still couldn't bring himself to go out. Besides, if he ran into Rollo, he'd have to actually confront the situation.
There's never anything interesting at the festival anyway.
The Adventures of Hank Atomic.
The complete first volume.
Luca carefully opened the cover and began to read. Rollo had received it for his birthday, a special hardcover edition with behind-the-scenes commentary and bonus art. Rollo cherished it, but asked that Luca keep it at his house. Luca wasn't sure if it was because Rollo didn't trust himself with it, didn't trust his sister around it, or just wanted an excuse to come hang out at Luca's more often. Whatever the reason, Luca didn't mind. But it had stayed right there where Rollo had stashed it ever since. Now, at the foot of his bed, Luca lost himself in the pages. He'd read it all before, but at this moment, it somehow felt sentimental. He was well into issue number 5 when he heard soft footsteps from the hallway.
Luca? Another little friend came to see you. A girl named Beck Modwell. She said you met yesterday. What did she say? Is she here? She was just dropping by. I told her you weren't taking visitors today. Oh. She seems nice. Yeah. You had a fight with Rollo, didn't you? Can I come in? Maybe later. All right, then. I'll leave dinner on the kitchen table, in case you want a bite before bedtime.
Without realizing it, Luca had pouted away the entire afternoon. He once again felt the weight of it all and allowed his weary eyes to close. Luca stood in a vast black expanse. He looked up at his father standing beside him. Walt was working a straw at the bottom of a fountain glass, trying to collect the last bits of milkshake. Dad? Where are we? Taking a final loud gurgling sip, his father peered up from the glass. He jangled the straw playfully with a warm smile, then lifted the empty glass as if to point into the darkness. The source? Luca's eyes followed his father's gesture. In an instant, he was sitting in front of a blazing campfire. Across from him sat a large figure in a yellow hazmat suit. The figure's voice was a scratchy echo. Well, if it isn't the man of the hour, make yourself comfortable. Luca held his shivering hands over the flame to warm himself. It doesn't work that way here. Their yellow-gloved hand pointed to the base of the flame. It's a cold flame. See? Luca peered at the base of the fire. It wasn't wood that was burning. It was Beacon Pines itself. Tiny buildings, freezing and crumbling as they were consumed by flame. Luca could see small shadows moving in the burning city. People. Luca leapt to his feet. We've got to help them! The figure gave a dismissive wave of their hand. Why waste energy helping people who can't even help themselves? The figure bent down to examine the panicked crowd as they desperately tried to stop the flames. They only care about what's right in front of them. Not like us. Luca's voice was a trembling whisper. Us? The figure slowly stood up, grabbing its helmet with both hands. With a jolt and a twist, the suit emitted a gasp. A cloud of torpid mist escaped, slowly revealing the face within. Luca's own face looked back at him, older, worn, distant. The sensation was oddly familiar, as if he'd caught his own reflection by surprise in the mirror. The doppelganger smiled. I tried to help once. He gestured towards his face. And all it got me was this. Lucas staggered back. You aren't me. Luca felt a hand catch his shoulder. His father was there again, beside him. Every choice sets us on a path. This is the end of one of your paths, son. Luca watched his older self shake its head ruefully, its face twisting into a cruel grin. Welp, Dad, if you wanted him to see this, far be it from me to disappoint. Luca watched in shock as the figure took a confident step forward and plunged into the flames. In a flash of cold light, he was gone. What does all of this mean? Luca felt a reassuring squeeze on his shoulder. Just remember, Why we choose matters just as much as what we choose. Luca woke up to see a hazy figure at the foot of his bed, silhouetted in the morning sun.
No, dear. It's only Gran.
That was intense. I'm just gonna say it right now. It was intense, and I liked it.
Luca rubbed his
I was
eyes.
just imagining what that looked like, just envisioning it in my mind's eye. I like that they make the screen black for it, so you can just use your imagination. But I was completely enthralled with that bit, just picturing that scene. Oh, it was beautiful, and I loved it.
The kind, concerned face of his gran came into focus.
How are you feeling?
Fine.
Anything you want to talk about?
I don't feel like talking.
That's just as well. How about you sit there and listen a bit? Whatever you and Rolo fought about doesn't matter.
But he...
Gran silenced Luca with a gentle pat on the leg.
Fights between friends happen. What was said doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's not the last thing you ever say to each other.
But he said stuff about Dad.
Well, do you think he meant it?
No. He was just mad.
And did you mean any of the things you said to him?
No.
Good. One must appreciate friends in their best moments and accept them in their worst.
Accept.
Now get your little butt out of bed. The festival's today. You don't want to miss that, do you?
I guess not.
Seems like a good opportunity to make amends with Rolo, doesn't it?
Luca gave a reluctant nod.
So buy him a corn dog and apologize.
But he's the one that...
What did I just say?
Buy him a corn dog.
That's a good boy. Everything's better with corn dogs. I need to get going now. Go get some last-minute festival business to take care of. I'll come find you at the fountain in a little after lunch.
All right.
I love you, Luca.
Love you too.
Luca took a deep breath.
Okay.
Chapter 6. Through thick and thin. Despite Luca's bitterness, Gran was right. He needed to hash things out with Rolo. A big fight changes the nature of a friendship. Whether, in the end, it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding. If one is not careful, the same familiarity that builds the strongest of bonds can become the wrecking ball that shatters them. Luca emerged from seclusion, taking in the crisp festival air. But the events of the day weren't on his mind. He had to find Rolo.
There you are. Luca, Rolo wanted me to tell you something. What is it?
Roxy rolled her eyes, shaking her head.
A space adventure, though you needn't buy it. If you be brave, go somewhere quiet. Roxy, I don't... It's a riddle, Luca. My goofy little brother wants you to find him.
Luca looked down and kicked at the dirt.
Look, I know you two had a fight. The only thing more annoying than my little brother is my little brother without his best friend. So I'm doing him this one favor. Now, I need you to one favor from you. Whatever it is that went down between you two, squash it. Space adventure, though you needn't buy it. If ye be brave, go somewhere quiet. Oh, the library. Easy enough. Let's catch up with everyone first. How goes the beetle hunt? Pretty rotten. I haven't seen so much as an egg. Oof, I'm not trying. And it's not just the beetles. This morning I couldn't find any critters at all. It's like everything that buzzes or skitters just packed up and left. Oh, that is a terrible sign. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. Maybe all the commotion of the festival just spooked them. Yeah, maybe that's it. Welcome to our festival. Don't forget to come back later for Mr. Kerr's speech. and perennial Harvest Festival sign reveal. You wouldn't want to miss it. Oh, I have no intention of missing it. I'm sure it's going to be great. I don't know who Perennial Harvest thinks they're impressing with this ridiculous festival.
Totally.
The town's still falling apart, and weather's still cruddy, and this season's harvest looks like it's going to be worse than last year's.
You said it.
No amount of corporate pandering is going to change any of that.
Exactly. But the lemonade at the drink stand over there does look pretty tasty.
Fits.
I'm still gonna be mad at them. I'd just rather be mad while sipping some delicious lemonade is all.
Unique New York. Unique New York. Huh? Oh, don't mind me. Just warming up for my big ceremony speech.
Mr. Kerr pointed to his grinning mouth.
Gotta limber up the old gab box.
You nervous?
Oh, heavens no.
Well, break a leg.
Give me the... Okay. Gift of something. They just closed him in over there. Ain't moving. Alright then.
Every single time.
Yup.
Wait for it.
Unexplained sound once again noted.
Like clockwork. What a bunch of drones.
Jeff was staring into the distance with a wistful look.
Hey Jeff, everything alright? Huh? Yeah, everything's fine. I mean, used to be fine. Just ain't right these days, you know?
I really do, actually.
Jeff turned to Luca with a furrowed brow, then gave an understanding nod.
You do, don't you?
For a moment, the two now shared that same wistful gaze.
Yeah, poor kid's lost a lot so far. Anyway, I was considering going over to the lake, whatever, but... Oh, most welcoming of welcomes. Would you like to share your thoughts? We always strive to improve.
Nope.
This is the first time I've seen this many smiling faces since the foul of harvest.
I had my doubts about Perennial Harvest, but I must admit they do put on a nice party. He met his old friend's eyes and was greeted with nothing but ice-cold anger. Heavens! This is no time for fractured friendships.
Stop! Piper, you're actually taking a break from studying.
I wanted to see what the festival fuss is about.
But I can't help but notice you still brought a backpack full of books.
Luca, backpacks can carry a lot more than just books.
True. So what you got in there?
Books.
I was able to return the Perennial Harvest safety suit you borrowed. I don't think anyone noticed. Good. Now will you tell me what you needed it for?
It was a favor for an enemy of my enemy.
This isn't going to harm Mr. Kerr, is it?
All you need to know is that it's for the good of the family.
I realize they're probably siblings, and I gave them two different accents. I'm imagining she, grew up at, fancy boarding schools, and he grew up here under his father's tutelage. That's why he ended up mayor, and she's just here. Anyway, library. Library. No library. Library. Did I go the wrong way for the library? I did. Library. Library. No. Not library. Library. This way? Library.
The library, somewhere quiet. Hey, Luca.
Kato's eyes lit with excitement.
I've been expecting you. Bravo on deciphering the first riddle.
Achievement unlocked. Riddle me this. the first.
Oh, you didn't think that was all, did you?
Rolo does go all out, doesn't he?
Kato straightened up and cleared his throat as if preparing to sing.
On planet Farpool, you may take issue. When the 5th king dies, you'll need a tissue.
Kato stared at Luca eagerly.
Get it? Want me to tell you?
No, it's okay. Let me figure it out.
Alright, when you find it, bring it here to be verified. And if you decide you want a hint, the offer still stands.
Take issue when the 5th king dies. You'll need a tissue. Issue and 5th. Fifth issue.
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 4, from the shelf.
Once you've got a book, you can either bring it here to me, or just grab a different one.
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 5, from the shelf.
That's the one I want. The 5th issue.
Oh, you found it!
Kato removed his book from the desk and replaced it with Luca's, turning on the lamp. As he slid the book under the purple light, 2 words glowed. The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue 5. Luca clicked his tongue with recognition.
Rolo's cipher pen. He used to write secret messages everywhere with that. And only I had the special flashlight needed to reveal it. But I lost it.
Well, apparently he traded Jeffrey for this purple light bulb. Parted with his entire Halloween candy stash.
Oh, Rolo.
Now let's see here.
Kato began flipping through the pages, stopping when he hit a glowing word.
Get away with such a grift.
He continued flipping.
Only found in grub cart.
Reaching the end of the book, Kato looked up.
That's it.
Grift in grub cart. Griffin. Griffin's grub cart. He wants me to go to Griffin's snack stand.
Ah, brilliant. I guess you're off then. Good luck on the rest of the scavenger hunt.
Thanks, Kato. I'm gonna talk to the wolf kid. Hi, Jace. Still working through the newest Hank Atomic? You know it. Some fascinating canon toward the end. Did you know Hank Atomic's shrink array doesn't technically shrink stuff? It uses inverse quantum particle decay to literally grow the entire universe around an object, leaving that object unaltered. So it just looks shrunk compared to everything else. Bingo. That's wild. But Jace, no spoilers, please. Alright, sorry. That sounds way too complicated. Anyway, going to the cart. I don't actually remember where this gift card is. I figured it was probably this one. That's the only snack card I could think of. Hey, Griffin. Did Rolo come?
Before Luca could finish his sentence, Griffin handed him a corn dog.
Aww. Oh, that's it? Bought and paid for. Enjoy. I thought there was supposed to be a riddle or something.
Luca shrugged, taking a sizable bite out of the corn dog.
Yuck! It's cold! Oh yeah, that's been sitting here for a while. Rolo wanted me to be sure to give you that one specifically. Well, that's just...
Luca tongued at his cheeks, feeling something rough between his teeth. He reached into his mouth and pulled out a slip of paper.
Oh, come on!
He shook off the bits of corn dog to read the slip.
A pickup when you need some pep. Near the fountain up the step.
Luca finished off the remainder of the corn dog.
Ah, this is getting to be a whole thing. I already know where that is. It's the coffee shop up the stairs. Right over here. That pep in your step.
you are, Luca.
There's no way I'm actually doing this. It's way below my pay grade.
Oh, come on, you big stiff. Let the kids have some fun.
Fine. But Rolo owes me one.
Lumi waved his hands around sarcastically as he
Oh,
began.
it is a dude. What takes flight but has no wings, your final task of friendship brings.
See, that wasn't so hard.
Hard. Ugh, I feel cheapened somehow.
I think it's sweet.
What takes flight but has no wings, your final task of friendship brings. Something that flies but without wings. Balloons.
Good luck, Luca.
Aww. 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 Hey. Hey. Did you find the comic book? Yep. And you got the corn dog? Yeah. Well then, I know it doesn't make up for what I said, but here, you've earned this.
Rolo sheepishly handed Luca the balloons.
Flight.
Thanks. You didn't have to go to all this trouble. I'm sorry I got so mad.
Dang it, you were supposed to let me apologize first.
Oh, sorry.
Now you've apologized twice before me.
Just let me do this.
Luca, I'm really sorry. With everything that's happened, with your mom and all. I've always wanted to be there for you. Be a good friend, you know? When you said you were hanging out with someone else, I kind of freaked out. Hello. Still my turn. I felt like if you needed some new friend to help you, it meant that I wasn't good enough. But that was selfish and wrong. I was wrong. I'm so sorry, Luca. Okay, apology over. You can talk now.
Luca threw himself at Rolo, hugging him as tightly as he could.
Rolo, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you either. That's why we deserve each other. So, what else do you want to do today? We could snoop around and try to find some info about your mom. Snoop where? We could probably sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ while everyone's at the festival. Aren't you curious about all the stuff those clipboards write down?
What if we get caught? I think I've had enough excitement for 1 week. Let's just make the rest of the day about us.
Really?
Yeah, the rest of the world can wait one more day.
You know, I have been wanting to do some work, get some work done on the DC at Mission Control. The aim is a bit unpredictable. Yeah, I know.
That sounds perfect.
We got balloons of friendship. Oh, they're so cute. We are running around with our balloons of friendship. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Let me see if there's anything interesting here. Nope. Eh.
Luca placed his sometime.
Let's see how this tree is looking. So, we didn't see about breaking. We haven't. Oh, we can do flight over there now. Oh, we should go over there now. But we won't because we're gonna stick to what we're doing so far. So I'm pretty sure this is not going to be the good ending. The ending we want anyway. A little too wholesome and innocent. You know what I mean? Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gram this morning. She asked me to give you this.
Rolo handed Luca an unopened letter.
Oh. I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now.
A letter?
Luca, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand.
Uh-oh.
If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself.
Uh-oh.
But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you.
Uh-oh.
None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much. We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it.
She was talking with those two about doing something.
God knows I've tried. Everything I've done. I did for you. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
I love you too, Gran.
Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder.
What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe later. Sure, whenever you want. You know, you really didn't have to go through all that trouble just to apologize. I know, but we'd been looking forward to the festival for weeks. After I ruined everything with my big mouth, it was the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me. Rolo.
Luca was at a loss for words, but that was fine. Words aren't always necessary.
The festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go. Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year.
Sadly, this was untrue. A distant rumble shook the treehouse.
Oh, crap. Please tell me Gran didn't do what I think she did. Huh? What was that? Oh man, we missed the fireworks?
It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself.
Oh gosh, Gran. Wait. Oh my gosh! Who brought Dr. Stone into this?
Tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill.
Oh my gosh! No! Oh my gosh! Just... what the heck? My heart wasn't ready for that.
Before they could react, it encased them in ice. Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a silent treehouse turned statuary, in a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time.
For 3,000 years.
The end. No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't.
Dang, man. My heart wasn't ready for that. My heart was going in a different direction of sorrow, but that one was worse. Oh, I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be the good ending, but my gosh. I wasn't prepared for it. That was some serious Dr. Stone, man. You can tell I just finished the first season.
I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either.
Of course not.
There are more endings, more possibilities. I can feel it. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
My heart hurts. I'm just saying. That was so sad. Okay, well, I guess since we know that where that path went, let's break the weather. There was so much heart in that one. Like I said, it was way too wholesome to be the answer.
As the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night. Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops.
Sure, we can go meet Rolo. You're not going home? No, I promised Rolo I'd tell him about...
Lucas stopped himself mid-sentence.
Promised you tell him what? Spit it out, bub. We're thick as thieves now. If there's a juicy secret, you've got to tell me. Okay. You can come to the treehouse and I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah.
Lucas saw Beck skulking by the gate.
So you're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? It's mostly boring and empty. I refuse to believe that. Big spiked gate, looming mansion, rich, reclusive owners. It even smells shady.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me! Oh my gosh, it opened. What did you do? First of all, I told you so. Second, hide! That's Eris Valentine. Who's she talking to? Shh. I expect you to return that suit in working order. Of course, as long as everything proceeds as planned. There's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If that means making some unsavory alliances, so be it. I couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Now this is what I'm talking about.
Beck's voice was an excited whisper.
Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously? Shh. You do understand that when this all inevitably fails, I will deny everything. I wouldn't expect any less of you. I'm just giving it a man voice, even though it could very well be a woman. I'm just pretending like this suit has like a voice answer thingy. You just worry about your part in this and let me handle the rest. I can't wait to see the look on that rube cur's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with the potential collateral damage. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady. That's just flat out super villain talk. If you don't mind me asking, why are you doing all of this?
The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners.
I thought so. Family.
A chill ran down Luca's spine.
I knew it.
His vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand.
An answer I can certainly respect.
Gran tousled her hair back under the face mask.
Just remember, keep everything nice and formal until the festival. I had a feeling it was her. That's why I was saying just now that it could very well be a woman. There's just the way things have been building up lately, it had to be her. I don't need lessons in rousing suspicion.
Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared into the night.
Plus, after the last unfortunate ending, it was pretty obvious she was involved deeply in something like that.
Chapter 5. What big ears you have.
The better to hear you with, my dear.
Lucas sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Why were you so scared of that old lady in the hazmat suit? That was my gran. That was your gran? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. Let's just get to the treehouse and figure things out there. Lead the way. Let's go. Man, these kids are cute. Oh. For the last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course we're not worried.
The clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up.
Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Well, maybe try minding your P's and Q's.
Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh.
If there's anything you need knowing, you'll know it. Absolutely. If you'll just sign here, acknowledging everything is accurate, we'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love of...
He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped.
There. And would you like my eternal soul as well?
The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away.
You already gave it to us. Uh-oh. Hi, Mr. Nuncreep. Luca, let me give you some advice. The next time someone you don't know asks to hear your thoughts, give him a good hard bop right in the kisser. Oh, Gran tells me to just keep away from the clipboards. That's good. That's good. Your Gran is a smart lady, Luca. Speaking of which, you'd better run along home now. Too dark out to be wandering on your own. I'm pretty sure I changed his voice at some point in there, but that's fine. You're still out here reading? Do you ever go home?
The answers you seek will be revealed to you in due time. The question is, the figure intoned, are you prepared to live with the truth?
No, but we're getting there. Another day, another dollar. See you tomorrow, Z.
Have you noticed how all the Perennial Harvest folks ordered the same drink?
Decaf cappuccino with extra foam. Why?
I don't know. Just thought it's a little odd.
Pretty weird for sure. They're all clones, we all know this.
Well, the customer's always right. See you bright and early tomorrow.
I can't wait.
Anyway, we're going to the treehouse. Let's go.
Oh, 2 adults.
William Kerr and Gus Valentine proudly surveyed the half-covered festival banner.
It's all coming together quite nicely. Couldn't have done it without you.
The mayor gave a half-hearted shrug.
I'm not so sure about that. Nonsense! That reminds me, I wasn't able to thank your sister for her contributions. Yes, she has been indisposed of late. She isn't much like me. She doesn't much like me, does she? Oh no, that's not it at all. She's just been busy. Of course. Regardless, I would be forever grateful if you could pass my thanks to her. The History Museum adds a real air of import to the whole affair. And we couldn't very well celebrate the story of Beacon Pines without including the Valentines. My father was a great man. You're darn tootin' he was.
Kerr locked his arm on Gus's shoulder.
But I mean the entire Valentine family, present company included. Can I ask something, Mr. Kerr? Call me William. Ask away. William, why are you doing all this? Gosh, I've never felt one needing a compelling reason to throw a party. Not just the festival. All of this. There's gotta be 100 down on their luck towns out there. Why is Perennial Harvest so invested in helping Beacon Pines? You know what I love most about the agriculture business? Seeds. Seeds? Yep, little bundles of potential.
With a glimmer in his eye, Kerr gestured grandly toward the horizon.
You treat a seed right, nurture it, feed it, and it can grow into something truly special. You see potential here? Undoubtedly. The seed of greatness is already under our feet. All it needs is a little nudge. And the right leadership, of course. Oh. Good night, Mayor Valentine. Well, I can see where that situation's going. There's something under the ground here that is of value. He wants to take over Beacon Pines, and that's why Nellie was hired, because she would know how to find the stuff that's under the ground. And that's why he took interest in this town. Old Nickler's Pond. I'm very curious what's under that thing now, for the sign. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further on from here. So what's your buddy Rolo like? Rolo? He's Rolo. Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I've just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny, even when he's not trying to be. Things have been tough for his family since the fowl harvest. It's about dang time you told me what this fowl harvest thingy is. It's kinda a long story. Hit me with the highlights. Stuff on my keyboard. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Ooh, big deal fertilizer. It was a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. So Valentine's grew and grew. Beacon Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in town either worked for Sharper Valentine or used his fertilizer. Things were good. I'm sensing a big but. Around 6 years ago, Sharper Valentine suddenly died. The same time as his dad. And something changed. Changed how? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water or air or soil. Nobody knows. But all the crops died. And everyone blamed the Valentines. The foul harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. The next year, the crops came back, but something was different. You plant a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of crapshoot what happens. And no one knows why? Nope. I take it Rollo's farm got the short end of the stick? Yep, for some reason their farm was hit harder than others. That sucks. Things have gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. The Beacon Pines Reborn Initiative. Yep, first thing they did was give the town a big, deep scrub. They even put us up in hotels one town over for a week while they decontaminated the groundwater. We'd better get going. I don't think there's anything to be doing there. There you are. It's about time. I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? Name's Speck. You must be Rollo. I see my reputation precedes me. Welcome to Mission Control. I'm sorry, I had to take a moment and remember how sad that landing was. Like, seriously, that, like, shattered my heart a little. I wasn't ready for that emotionally, man.
Rollo waggled his
Especially
head
after
with
how
pride.
heartwarming everything was, and then it all just turned to ice. That was mean, creators. You just shattered me a little. I was expecting them to be, like, totally fine and enjoy the rest of their day, not realizing the town further out blew up from some, like, explosion at the building or something. No, instead everything turned to ice and froze over and they're trapped there forever, and that's sad. Sad. Ow. Rollo wagged his head with pride. You'll find we've spared no expense in construction. I've seen worse looking piles of junk. Thanks. Hey Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah. While I was waiting, I made some improvements. Let me lock this baby down for a little test infiltration. Can't be too safe these days. It's Among Us. But he goes all out, doesn't he? Always. Missed. Ah! I can't figure out the way to do this. How do you decide it goes straight? I have to like be pushing in that direction. Hold on. There we go. Nah! Are you kidding? Rollo, you're making this too complicated. There we go. Where did you guys get all this junk in the first place? There's a guy in town named Jeff who trades us junk for snacks. Junk food for junk. Nice. So, pretty sweet security, alright? That was imaginative, I'll give you that. Luca, are we sure we can trust the new recruit? I'll vouch for her. Thanks, I guess. Okay, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine warehouse.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
So like I said, there was someone there. What were they doing? I don't know, but the place was lit up and active. Maybe they were squatters? I don't think so. It seemed more organized. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running. A man pulled you in? Yeah, but I got away. You keep saying it was a man. They were wearing a mask, right? Yeah. And it could have been a woman. How did you get away? I grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. They let go and I ran. Dang. That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma. That's the other part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Harris Valentine meeting with Gran, wearing the same sort of hazmat suit.
Rollo let out a low whistle.
See, I can do it. And they weren't there for idle chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine meetup. So let me get this straight. There's an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit. And then you saw your Graham in the same suit talking with Harris Valentine? Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town is kind of awesome.
Rollo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense. And so we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town. And their leader is your Gran, and she tried to murder you! First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my Gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged, but she's definitely hiding something. Maybe. Your Gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know. We haven't talked much since she moved in. Moved in? Your Gran isn't from here? No, she came a few months back to take care of me after his mom went missing. Did you know your Gran before? Not really, no. Oh my gosh, is it not his grandmother at all, actually? It's been years since I'd seen her. Luca, don't take this the wrong way. But are we sure your Gran is on the up and up?
Luca gazed out the window.
I'm just saying. It sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. We could say the same thing about your family. But you're right. Luca, your Gran is hiding something. And Pa always says folks only bury stuff worth digging up. We need to investigate your house. If my Gran really is hiding something, don't you think I would have noticed by now? That's kind of the whole point of hiding something. I guess you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you two tomorrow when the coast is clear, and we can start getting to the bottom of this. I'm always game for a good snoop. You can count me in.
Chapter 6.
Where are we at so far? I guess this is where we're gonna have to leave off with my poor little frozen, broken, shattered heart. That ending was too sad and too sudden. I wasn't prepared emotionally for that. At least they're fine now, but still, that was. What was the word they used? Melancholy? Macabre is a better word for it. That was just like, ugh. I wasn't ready for that. Gave me chills. It's sad. Alright, but we're going to leave it off right here at chapter 6. I think this is the first time we've actually reached a chapter 6, right? Did we reach a chapter 6 yet so far? Also, I should look at our tree again. We have to look back and make sure none of the earlier stuff had any other charms we could have used. Because we know that we have 2 of them we can go back and use now. But I want to finish the path we're on at the moment. I think the path we're on right now is probably not an actually good ending. I feel like they're purposely going to have the good ending be the final one you can actually unlock. Because with the charms being the way they are, it actually makes it very easy to notice that we only get further with each special charm that comes up. It's very well designed and well written. I really appreciate how they did it. They took their time when they were doing this. Make sure everything adds up, and then adding the narration to kind of give it more feeling, more emotion. They did a really good job with this game. I appreciate it very much, and I look forward to continuing it next time. But for now, we are going to stop here. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can be here for the next one. Hopefully, that should be out quickly. I do not have a schedule in place at all, so if it takes time before things pop up, that don't be surprised. That's normal. That's just going to be the way it is until this is easier to do for me. But for now, thank you for joining me. I hope you're having as much fun as I am. Until next time, this is SonicRanger signing out. Bye!